In the early 1900s, Auburn, New York was an industrious, growing city, but its local entertainment scene was anchored by aging, outdated playhouses. These wooden structures carried a severe physical risk. In an era lit by open flames, audiences and performers lived with the constant threat of fire, a danger made real by tragedies like the Iroquois Theater fire in Chicago, which had recently killed over 600 people. Thomas Mott Osborne wanted to solve this problem entirely. Instead of making incremental upgrades to existing halls, he decided to bypass the old methods and build a metropolitan cultural temple right in central New York. He named his new project the Jefferson Theater. The title was a direct homage to the actor Joseph Jefferson, signaling a commitment to top-tier talent. Osborne's goal reached past commercial ticket sales. He was attempting to establish a state-of-the-art facility that would elevate his hometown's cultural baseline while removing the physical risks of the older playhouses. When the doors opened in November 1908, patrons walked into an environment built to big city standards. Architect Arland W. had designed a glamorous interior with a scale and feel that rivaled venues in Manhattan or Chicago. The Jefferson was marketed as fireproof, rooted in the complete absence of wood beneath the stage. As this schematic shows, the entire substructure was steel, concrete, and stone. Higher up, automatic flues immediately vented smoke and flames out the roof, protecting the audience. The engineering continued into the seating area. To support a suspended, perfectly angled balcony without obstructing sightlines, the construction utilized a massive 22-ton steel girder to hold the weight of 1,600 patrons. This structural integrity gave the Jefferson a distinct advantage over its peers. Because it was built with these modern materials, it had the physical capacity to outlast every aging entertainment house in the city. For its first few years, the Jefferson operated exactly as Osborne intended, operating as a pure stage for high art, boasting the acoustic and dramatic perfection required for top-tier productions. Huge touring acts consistently packed the house to standing-room-only crowds. Prominent companies, like the Ziegfeld Follies and the Chicago Stock Company, brought enormous casts and intricate sets to the 62-foot-wide stage. The marquee regularly featured the most famous names of the era, drawing massive local audiences to see high-profile stars like Lillian Russell perform live. Yet, maintaining a rigid devotion to a single type of entertainment carries a risk. As the 20th century accelerated, public tastes began shifting toward entirely new mediums. The Jefferson's ultimate longevity wasn't decided at its grand opening, but in the moments its owners decided to move away from theatrical purism. The first major pivot occurred in 1913. Management installed a screen and began mixing their prestigious stage plays with vaudeville acts and early motion pictures. By May 1928, they adopted the new Vitaphone system, utilizing large synchronized records to play Don Juan, one of the first feature-length sound films. Operational control also evolved. Thomas Mott Osborne stepped back, leasing the building to professional theater circuits like Reese, Shea, and Shine. These operators prioritized broad appeal and competitive booking over traditional drama. While the Jefferson continuously upgraded its technology, its local competitors failed to keep pace. Venues like the Capitol and the Burtis Opera House lost their audiences and fell into ruin. The Jefferson stood alone. Its operators treated the building as a flexible container for new media, rather than a rigid shrine dedicated to a single era. By the 1950s, the Grand Theater era was collapsing nationwide. The rise of television and changing consumer habits began draining downtown entertainment districts. The Jefferson made a final attempt to draw a modern crowd in February 1953 by screening the 3D film Bwana Devil. It ran for only a single week. After that last screening, the projectors were turned off, and a permanent silence fell over the auditorium. For years leading up to its demolition in 1961, the building sat abandoned. Dust covered the carpets, the 12 dressing rooms sat empty, and the massive steel girders held up a vast vacant gallery. Architectural genius can delay the end, but the theater was eventually defeated by the same shifting macroeconomic trends that had once brought it into being. The building itself was flattened in 1961. Though by then, the Jefferson had fulfilled Osborne's original goal, serving as a focal point for the city's public life for over 5 decades. For 53 years, it survived through technological upheavals and changing tastes, remaining the cultural heartbeat of Auburn long after its contemporaries had disappeared. That half-century run was the result of pairing a visionary physical foundation with a management that refused to let the building become a museum.